What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today, Malcolm Brogdan, officially the newest member of the Boston Celtics, in a trade that I really didn't see coming as a Celtics fan. The Celtics obviously lost the NBA Finals to the Golden State Warriors, and when I was looking ahead at this offseason, I expected pretty small end moves to kind of fix some of the big glaring issues that they did have. I think, obviously, playmaking is one of those issues. I didn't expect it to be filled in a role such as Malcolm Brogdan, but I think he does that really nicely, and obviously he does provide some scoring as well, which was definitely a need for this team. So I'm sure a lot of you, if not all of you, do know what it is, but I'll read you the exact trade that was made today, or well, yesterday when you're seeing this at the time, between the Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. On Friday, the Celtics traded Daniel Tice, Aaron Nesmith, Nick Stauskas, Malik Fitz, Juwan Morgan, and a 2023 first-round pick to the Indiana Pacers in exchange for Malcolm Brogdan. That didn't seem like enough, in my opinion. I'm happy that the Celtics got him for what seems like really, really cheap, and two guys that probably weren't going to be here next year anyways. But, yeah, this one's a little bit of a mind-blogger for me, but let's get into it. I went ahead and simmed all the way to the start of the 2022-2023 NBA season. The majority of this Celtics roster is filled out. They might make one or two other moves, but not willing enough to maybe wait on this rebuild. I think this team is pretty much filled out the way it's going to be. So I know that a lot of people, or mostly reporters, are saying that Brogdan's going to come off the bench. I really don't see that happening. The way I'm going to start the starting five is going to be Smart, Brogdan, Brown, Tatum, and then Rob Williams. Obviously, the other guys are going to be coming off the bench. But yeah, we can quickly go over this team a little bit and kind of give you my thoughts on how I think they're going to be this year and what everybody's role is going to be. And I'm only doing this because I know my Celtics very well. So Pritchard obviously kind of developed a lot, and I think he ultimately looked really good, especially for some moments in the early playoffs. Had a pretty disappointing finals in the minutes that he did play, but ultimately, I still think he's going to be a really good role piece for this team moving forward. And I'm actually pretty happy we didn't trade him. He's obviously a really good three-point shooter. Marcus Smart's in here. Mr. Love and Trust himself. I know people have various opinions on him. I know the majority, if not probably 90-95% of Celtics fans love him. I love Marcus. This game doesn't love Marcus. I'm hoping he can stay throughout the entirety of this video and be our starting point guard if the game allows me to. J.D. Davison was a second-round pick out of Alabama, correct? Yes, he was this year. He's a little bit of a project, I'm assuming, but I do want him to eventually develop and get some playing time. Maybe not this year, but eventually. Malcolm Brogdan, the man of the hour, the man that was just recently traded for by the Boston Celtics in a trade that honestly surprised me a little bit. I really didn't see him coming over here, and I'm actually kind of happy he did. I think he does a lot of things well this team really lacked. I think he's a pretty good playmaker. I think he is going to go ahead, hopefully bring a lot of defensive energy to this team. That's one of the main reasons I want him starting. Obviously, I think Derek White's a pretty decent defensive player. He had some serious struggles in the NBA Finals, but I'm comfortable with him enough as our sixth man on the squad. Mr. Jaylen Brown, love the man. I do not want him to be traded at all. I stand by that statement. I really don't. I don't care if it gets you Kevin Durant. I'd rather take the rest of Jaylen Brown's career than most likely what's going to be 3 or 4 years of Kevin Durant, or until he gets, starts bitching more about, how he can't do anything without Steph Curry. Danilo Gallinari, who came over in a signing. I wasn't technically a signing trade. It was just a free agent signing because obviously he was in that Atlanta and San Antonio deal, and he he did get bought out by the San Antonio Spurs. It made no sense for him to stay there, and I'm happy to have Gallo here in Boston. I think he's going to do a lot of good things for us. Sam Hauser was re-signed today, or actually yesterday when you're seeing this, to a multi-year contract by the Celtics. I think that three-point shooting can definitely develop. He eventually maybe could play somewhat significant minutes for the Celtics. Mr. Jason Tatum, my favorite player in the NBA, going to lead the Celtics to the promised land. Almost did this year, had a little bit of a disappointing finals, but we move, and I'm happy to have him here in Boston. Grant Williams definitely came out of nowhere this past season for the Celtics. I hated this man before that. I thought he did nothing but just run around occasionally and nothing. But he really emerged himself on both ends of the ball. He came in a really good three-point shooter. He can play some pretty solid defense. He definitely helped a little bit against Giannis in that Bucks series. Happy to have him in Boston. Robert Williams, who is on most likely the biggest steal of a contract in the entirety of the NBA, 4 years, $48 million. Obviously, the injury concerns there a little bit, but I love him. I think he's going to be the center of the future, and obviously on a really, really good contract. So happy to have him here. Really good defensive presence, really good shot blocker, really good rebounder. And then followed by Mr. Al Horford, who I was most disappointed for this year that didn't get a ring. He had some really good playoff performances, a couple tough ones in the finals, especially that game one against Golden State is always going to be something I do remember. So, yeah, I'm happy to have Al here, and my goal today is obviously get him a ring. Let me go ahead and set this rotation. We'll start 7-year number 1. Starting year number 1 for us here in Boston, we obviously are going with the starting 5 that I think a lot of people probably think is going to be for the Celtics next year. I think there's a lot of interesting rotations that can do. Ultimately, I think this is probably the one that gives you the best chance of winning the most games. But that being said, I still think, Ime Udoka is a very creative guy. I think he might try to, work some things around in and night out. So this is the one I'm going with. Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Robert Williams. Bench unit, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Al Horford, Grant Williams, and Danilo Gallinari. In real life, obviously, a lot of these guys are going to play more. Like Gallo's probably going to play more than 10 minutes a night. Grant's definitely going to play more than 12 minutes a night. The reason I'm doing this way is because here in 2K, you have to give a shit ton of minutes to your starters in order for them to be as effective as possible. So it's just 2K. I obviously would not ever run a rotation like this in real life. It'd be looking a lot different. But this team was obviously 2 wins away from a championship last year. That does feel really weird to say. But hey, they were up 2-1 at one point, and they immediately lost 3 straight. So nonetheless, I think Malcolm Brogdon's a huge addition to this team on both ends of the floor. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see what he can bring. I'm hoping for a championship. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. A successful first year for us here in Boston. We are the 1 seed here in the Eastern Conference. They're saying we're number 4 in the power rankings. You can say whatever you want, but I'll take that 1 seed. Mr. Luka Doncic. I know, it's a very big surprise. Luka won another MVP. Jabari Smith Jr. Typically, it's Chet Holmgren. Good to see Jabari win a Rookie of the Year. Let me guess. Simmons. Oh, no, it's Trae Young because they put Trae Young behind DeJounte Murray. Can't figure out how to play them together in this game. Interesting. Jonathan Isaac. Wow, we're actually changing up a lot of stuff here. Typically, it's Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year, and then it's Ben Simmons, 6th Man of the Year, and then it's Giannis Stevens, Player of the Year. Most improved goes to Jared Vanderbilt, is now in Utah. That's going to be interesting. And Willie Green, Coach of the Year. Here come the big, bad New Orleans Pelicans. We finished with a record of 56-26. New Orleans wins 60 games. And we're 4 in the power rankings with the 2nd best record in the league. Okay, 2K. Jason Tatum leads us in scoring, followed by Jaylen Brown, Malcolm Brogdon, Rob Williams, Derek White, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, Marcus Smart. Oh boy. Maybe like a few more points out of Marcus Smart, but yeah. I don't really care as long as we're winning games. Let's sim the play and see who we got here in round 1. It's going to be the Indiana Pacers back in the playoffs. We just took Malcolm Brogdon from you, and now we got a first-round matchup with you. Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Chris Duarte, Carmelo Anthony. That might be the grossest free agency signing of all time. Miles Turner, Isaiah Jackson, Kyle Anderson, who's actually in, I almost said Memphis, in Minnesota in real life. We're going to win this series. What am I doing? Moving on to Philadelphia here in round number 2. James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. I'll be interested to see if they can get a Tobias Harris trade to kind of go through this offseason. I think ultimately moving on from him is probably a smart idea, in my opinion, for value-wise and especially defense-wise. I think I'd rather have PJ Tucker in there. I really would. And I'm not saying he's a better player. I just think for what you kind of need for a fit-wise, I would probably look to move Thybulle off the bench as well and get somebody else in there starting. I don't know if he actually – no, he doesn't start. I don't know who started at the 3 for them. Whatever. Let's go game by game right now with Philly. We're not the 76ers right now. We're up 2-1 against them real quick. We're up 3-1. Quick gentleman sweep. They win game 1. We go on to win 4 straight. Rematch of the first round series last year. Obviously, I don't know where KD and Kyrie are, so they're going to both still be in Brooklyn. They're not going to trade either of them. I'm very excited to do both of those rebuilds, though, when they inevitably happen. Let's go game by game. I mean, the Celtics swept them in real life last year. They get a game in here. We're up 3-1, and we close them out. And, oh, boy. I don't want to play the Pelicans. I really don't, just because this. Well, he's going to average like 30 fucking points in the finals. We win game 1. We lose game 2. Win game 3. Lose game 4. We got a best of 3 now. Lose game 5. And that's all she wrote. Yep, almost 30 points. Look, I know Zion's averaged 27 in a season where he played 61 games. I think it was something like that. I'm not saying he's not a great basketball player. And I'm going to stop giving this speech every single time because I know it gets old for you, because it's definitely gets old for me. This is ridiculous. It is. I'm sorry. Zion's not carrying the Pelicans to a championship next year. Let's just be realistic. They're not going to be the number 1 seed in the West. I don't know. That's my piece. I can't deal with it anymore. And we're probably going to have to play them again if we get to the finals. Alrighty, we're here in the draft lottery. Let's sim it. We obviously don't have any picks. It's Spurs. They end up getting what they want by trading DeJounte Murray. Inevitably get Victor Wembanyama, followed by the Orlando Magic, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Orlando Magic again, and then the Houston Rockets. Staff signing, Ime Udoka is a hell of a head coach. We are not going to be moving on from him. I do think his rating should be a bit higher, though. All right, we got the 2nd overall pick in round number 2. I'm not going to use 2 second-round picks. I can use 1. I'm not going to use 2. Let's see who's available for us here at pick number 32. Again, probably not somebody that's going to be contributing a ton. Azuolas Tubelis. Honestly, this dude might be my pick just because I'm not saying he's going to play as my backup center, but Al Horford could potentially be on his way out. I should have probably checked if he retired or not, but we'll take this dude as Azuolas Tubelis. Welcome to Boston. Team player options, Pritchard, J.D. Davison coming back. Probably should have sent Davison down to the G League. Grant Williams going to 100% get that qualifying offer. He is somebody that I would like to bring back. We somehow have bird rights on Gallo. I want to make sure that if Al Horford's going to go, excuse me, I want to make sure I bring him back. If he's okay, he is here. I'm going to ride it out with Al for 1 more year as my backup center. It's obviously probably not the smartest move in the world, but I feel as if Al Horford deserves a ring. So I'm going to bring him back. And then, let's see, overall wise, I don't want to go Gallo. I'll go somebody like Kendrick Williams. I'm actually pretty comfortable with that. And then I'm going to wait on Grant to go ahead and give him a real contract. So Kendrick Williams is going to replace Gallo. There's nothing wrong with Gallo. I just maybe like to get a little bit of a different guy in there. He's a little bit younger. Nothing too crazy, but we'll see. And now I'm going to go ahead and give Grant Williams here a real contract. About $9 million a year. It goes up a little bit towards the end of it. But I'm very comfortable with that as well. I think it's a very fair price for Grant Williams. And yeah, that's going to be it for now. I'm still going to be starting Marcus Smart. I think Peyton Pritchard is going to continue to increase, but I'm very comfortable with Marcus Smart. Malcolm Brogdan is now 30 years old. Kind of crazy to see. Jaylen Brown's, Kendrick Williams, Jason Tatum, Grant Williams, and then Rob Williams, Al Horford, and then our boy Azuolas Tubelis down here as well. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. We're going with the same exact starting 5 here in year number 2. We didn't make any changes to that. We made one small change to the bench. We re-signed Al Horford. We re-signed Grant Williams. Horford's overall is unfortunately shooting down, and it sucks, but I want to get the man a ring. Ultimately, if we don't win a ring this year and he doesn't retire, I'm going to bring him back. He's not going to be in the rotation, but I'm going to bring him back because I want to get Al Horford a ring to the best of my ability. Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdan, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Robert Williams is your starting 5 here. Year number 2, bench unit. Peyton Pritchard slides up to the 6-man spot, gets a couple more minutes a night, followed by Derek White, Grant Williams, Kendrick Williams, a lot of Williams on this team, and then Al Horford, who's a 74 overall. It hurts. 2 things here, or actually 3 things here hurt me. 1, Al Horford's overall, seeing it so low, hurts. 2, 10 minutes a night, that sucks. I love Al. I want to see him play. And 3, and I think most importantly, seeing him in a 76ers uniform. What a gross free agent signing that was. Good for my man Al, though, fleecing the Sixers. See you guys in year number 2. Year number 2 comes to a close. Luka Doncic, once again, the MVP. I know, hard to believe. Shocking, even. Once again, we are the 1 seed here in the Eastern Conference. We're now number 1 in the power rankings. Hopefully that means championship. Victor Wembanyama, your rookie of the year, is in San Antonio. He's obviously going to be a very big target for them in real life as well. Cool to see him in a Spurs jersey. I cannot believe that this game can't figure out how to play Trae Young and DeJounte Murray together. Giannis Stevens, player of the year. Paolo Banchero, most improved. Did he suck his rookie? No, he didn't. I feel like it's weird giving it to a sophomore player. We go 67-15 under Ime Udoka, and hopefully that should be enough to maybe win a finals finally. We've now technically lost 2 in a row. I mean, the Warriors in real life and then the Pelicans this past season. But the Pelicans also won 61 games. They are not a bad team whatsoever. Mr. Jason Tatum, almost 30 points a game. I will take it. Wow, very good year from JT. Jaylen Brown, Malcolm Brogdan, Rob Williams, Derek White, Pritchard, Smart, Horford, Grant. Wow, Horford's still doing his thing even though he's on the older end and on the lower side in the overall department. Let's see what we got here. The Miami Heat. Rematch of 2 years Eastern Conference Finals, or 2 years ago's Eastern Conference Finals. Lowry, Hero, Butler, Caleb Martin, Bam Adebayo. Really haven't made any significant additions. I feel like Pat Riley is going to somehow get Donovan Mitchell. Hopefully by the time this one goes up, he hasn't already done so. Because if he does, oh my God, we're not blowing this, are we? Oh my God, thank God. That scares the shit out of me as a Celtics fan. The thought, obviously we were a Jimmy Butler 3 away from seeing the Miami Heat in the finals instead of the Celtics, which would have been a historic collapse by the Celtics. But goddamn, if they get, obviously Kevin Durant's a lot more scary than Donovan Mitchell, but both of them scared the shit out of me. Kyrie Irving, Dante DiVincenzo, Bruce Brown, Kevin Durant, Nick Claxton with Brickleberry Simmons coming off the bench. Good additions there in Brooklyn. Obviously the Celtics swept them a couple years ago now in the game in the playoffs, and we did it again. Obviously KD and Kyrie, I gave you that whole spiel before, are probably not going to be Brooklyn Nets for too much longer. In the Atlanta Hawks, DeJounte Murray, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella. They got Trae Young coming off the bench, who, yeah, I'd say he's a pretty deserving 6th man of the year. Basically, I've seen him win MVPs before in this video. Oh my God, we do not have the Pelicans. We have the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic, Mr. MVP, Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Green, Zeke Naji, Christian Wood, Dinwiddie, Trez. We're just a lot better than this team. Obviously, I'd say they have the best player in the series, but really? Really? I can't even hop in. I'm just going to simcast it just because I want to. I can't hop in because the file will quit, and then we'll never know. We got a heated battle. I don't even know why I'm stopping it. I'm not going to hop in anyways. Oh my God, wow. Really good defensive game from both teams. 152-144. I think we're a lot better than this team. I honestly can't believe we're going to a game 7. And if you blow this, we're going to have some problems here. I'm going to blow this team up if we choke this lead. We are not, though, and we got Al Horford a ring, which was my main want and my main need, if you will, of this video. Shocker, Jason Tatum wins Finals MVP. And we got a championship here in Boston. Banner 18 is official, and it feels really good. Did Al Horford retire? Yeah, he did. Al Horford goes out with a ring. At the age of 38, he finally gets one. Headed to the Basketball Hall of Fame? Let me know your thoughts down below. Keep in mind, it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame. Draft lottery time. Let's see what we got. Spurs projected number 1 again. They get number 1 again. Holy shit. Staff signing. Ime Udoka is still the head coach here. We are going to be keeping him, obviously. We now head up to what this team's kind of looking like. We'll check if we have any picks first. We do have the 30th overall pick. I'll draft somebody. I don't know anybody in this class, especially that late. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but I'll go ahead and I'll use the pick, see who's available. Or, excuse me, Mikey Williams, sorry, DJ Wagner, Kwame Evans Jr., Mark Williams. Dedrick Stevens. We potentially need a backup small forward, so Dedrick, welcome to Boston. If not, maybe you'll get included in a trade or something. You're a 73 overall, welcome. Team player options. Our guy from last year, Azolas Tubelis, who potentially could be our backup center. Davison and Pritchard can both get their qualifying offers. Maybe I don't really need Davison at this point, but he's cool to have. All right, free agency. Jaylen Brown is my number 1 priority here. Hopefully we have. I'm just going to max. Does he have any offers? He doesn't even have any offers. I would never underpay him in real life, but I'm going to underpay him a little bit in the game just because he doesn't have any other offers. Pritchard's not going anywhere. I'm just going to give him his qualifying. We're in a good spot. Davison's probably going to accept his qualifying. I'm fine bringing him back on that again. Probably not going to be in the rotation, but I can live with it. Okay. So we need to address the backup center. That's obviously a need at this point in time. Again, we didn't really do a ton with this team, and I am kind of sorry about it, but I'm not going to start Azolas Tubelis. What I am going to do is trade Kendrick Williams, Dedrick Stevens, and Tubelis for a new backup small forward, and then sign a center, unless there's any good small forwards here. I love Max Strus. He's a really good shooter. No, there's really not. I'm going to actually sign Chris Boucher and then trade him for a center, because why the fuck not? Chris Boucher, welcome to Boston. Okay, I'll just keep this flowing. We're going to do Boucher, and we'll do Tubelis and a first-round pick. Give me either a small forward or center. Harrison Barnes, 32, though. Kendrick Nunn. Center or small forward? Nerlens Noel. Obviously not bad. He's from Boston, I think. Somewhere near Boston. Kyle Anderson. Could move Kyle Anderson out of that small... You know what? I'm going to move Kyle Anderson out of that small forward spot. We're going to do that. Maybe not the best fit in the world, but I'm fine with it. He actually goes up to an 80 overall. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trade Dedrick Stevens and Kendrick Williams for some sort of center. Hopefully somebody that's serviceable enough, because I really don't want to have somebody suck. Like, I can't play Tristan Thompson off the bench. I just can't. We have 10 offers. I'm going to find one manually. I'll see you guys with the trade. Feels like we've done a lot of trades with Indiana, and I'm going to try to do another one. I want to get Isaiah Jackson here. He's a more than serviceable backup center, and we get it done. This team's all set. I'll see you guys at the start of the third and final year. Fresh off a championship, we make no changes to our starting 5. Obviously, the Celtics don't need a ton of moves to be made in order for them to be contenders, so we didn't really make a ton of moves in today's video. Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdan, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Robert Williams. Could have started Pritchard, potentially maybe brought a little more scoring to the starting 5, but we lose a lot of defense there, and I know Brogdon's obviously solid on the defensive end. I don't know. I just love Marcus Smart. Bench unit, Derek White, Grant Williams, Isaiah Jackson, and Kyle Anderson. So our bench got even deeper, which is awesome to see. I will see you guys at the end of the third and final season. I know, it's shocking. Luka won a third MVP. I know. It's hard to believe, honestly. We are the 1 seed once again here in the East. We are going back-to-back, hopefully. Mikey Williams, Rookie of the Year. So pretty young, nice core there in San Antonio with him and Victor Wembanyama. Ben Simmons, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis Stevens, Player of the Year. Scoot Henderson, most improved. This dude always balls out. Willie Green, Coach of the Year. Looks like the Pelicans are coming. All right, we go 55-27. Obviously, we would like to be at that around 60 wins, but I'll still take the 1 seed here in the East. Tatum, Brown, Brogdon, White, Williams, Pritchard, Jackson, Smart. Wow, Smart's points have gone down significantly. Rebounds was Williams, and assist was Brogdon. All right, let's sim the play-in, and we end up with the 76ers, who we beat last year. Added DeAndre Hunter. That's a pretty good addition, in my opinion. Let's go game by game with them, and hopefully we get by them pretty easily. I think that would be nice. We're up 3-0. Looks like this one's over. Moving on to Cleveland, who has a very nice young core. Garland, Okoro, Barnes, Mobley, Jarrett Allen. I still got Kevin Love coming off the bench. We end up losing game 1 to them. We take game 2 on our home floor. We lose game 3. We're 2-2. We go up 3-2. We close them out in 6. And here comes Orlando. Henderson, Suggs, Connaughton, Banchero, Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter Jr., Franz Vaughn. Wow, really? Holy bench. God damn, they probably have us beat in the bench department. I still think our team's better. But, yeah, let's see if we can get by them here. We're up 3-1, 3-2. And we're on to the NBA Finals, and we got a rematch. Luka, Hardaway Jr., Josh Green, Zeke Naji, Trez, Christian Wood. Wow, I'm surprised they're not starting Christian Wood. I feel like that would make more sense. Just my opinion. We beat them last year. Can we beat them again? That'd be cool. We're up 2-1 right now. We're 2-2. We go up 3-2. And the Celtics go back-to-back and also get banner 19 in today's video. So, Malcolm Brogdan, officially a member of the Boston Celtics. And I'm very excited to have him, even if they want to keep him as a sixth man for God knows what reason. But let me know your thoughts on this trade down below in the comment section. Of course, if you guys have any other video ideas, leave them down below in the comment section. If you guys are new around here, you can subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton. And if you can leave a like on the video, it also helps me out a ton. That's it for now. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.